it's very important that you know what you're going to before you go to it. I went to my first Parkinson's support group was at this assisted living place.
Yeah.
So I think I was 30 something and the next
Yeah.
youngest person was 75.
I know, I've been there.
And they went around the room talking about all their problems. By the time they got halfway through, I had to leave. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Man, I got to go through that. And they're like, no, you're at the wrong one. But we started a support group here in Portland, and it was kind of like a relief because all the answers I couldn't get from a neurologist, I was getting from other patients.
Right.
And I got a chance to really see how many faces this disease has.
Yeah. I think a lot of people with young onset Parkinson's especially really struggle to find their people. You know, when you're 20, 30, 40 years younger than most of the people in the room, even though you have Parkinson's in common, you're at different stages of life, right? And there are things that younger folks with Parkinson's deal with that maybe older folks don't deal with because they're not in that same station of life. All of us are lumped into one group, and Parkinson's is so different anyway, especially for younger people. Many of us are still working, many of us still have kids in the house. A diagnosis like this doesn't fit with kind of our trajectory, our life plan, whether it's professional or otherwise. And I hear that a lot from people with young onset, especially, that they just don't know where to go to find their people.
Not that I was really seeking them out, but it was nice to know that I was with a group of individuals that could explain things to me when I needed to know something, or if they didn't know, they figure out who to ask.
Yeah.
And there's a big relief in that, you know, knowing that you're not alone. I mean, we used to say that to other people, you know, you're not alone.
Yeah, that was huge for me too. Really, really huge. And I think of people that not only, you know, helped me remember I wasn't alone, but I looked at them and, you know, especially if they were a little farther down the road, you know, they've been diagnosed, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years, you know, before I was, and they were still living their life and they had challenges, but they were still enjoying their lives, and they were doing things that were important to them and making contributions and having relationships and raising kids and, you know, still working if they needed to work. And so not only did I not feel as alone, but I felt, you know, kind of empowered. Do you get dystonia? Do you get the cramps?
I do.
Yeah,
but
me
not as bad as other people I know.
Yeah, I get them in my toes.
Fucking my feet.
Feet and toes, yeah. They curl up.
Come on, Grant, let's go.
Yeah. Ready? All right. I guess we'll go right side, right side, right side. So this is yours.
I mean, Parkinson's sucks. Nobody wants it. It adds a burden to your life, many burdens over time, but you can still live, right? And you can still not just live, you can thrive, right? We can touch other people's lives just by living our lives in ways that are meaningful and connective and vulnerable and you know, willing to admit that we don't have it all together every day. I mean, I think there's real power in that.
Nobody initially wants to admit something like that.
Yeah.
But you get put into a corner to where it's constantly showing itself. It's constantly making you do things that you normally wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Or have thoughts that you normally wouldn't have. And you just gotta learn to be vulnerable.